About the late August on is when everything starts going to seed, the flowers. And for every flower I pick, I get anywhere from 6 to 15 plants possible from the seed, which is wonderful. I'd rather plant from seed than buy the plant itself. It's more fun. I have this plate on my dining room table. It's a white plate, and I just break open the flower and let the seed fall out, or pull it out and extract it from the petals and such. Yeah, I sort seeds. Every flower in this garden came off that plate. Every flower. I guess that's why I'm so proud of the flowers here. Got enough for 10 plants here, just off 3 flowers. Try and show them here. Spread them out a bit. Yeah, each one of those grows a whole new plant for me. So welcome to the Downtown Community Garden. I wanted to show you our sign that we're very proud of. We had the Wounded Warriors in here one year, probably the 3rd year that I worked here at the garden, and they were nice enough to put this in concrete for us, and they signed the back of the sign, which was absolutely wonderful. They also gave us this huge flag that we had up by our notice board, and it, of course, disappeared in the night sometime, probably on the back of somebody's pickup truck, but it was so nice to have them here. It was a new experience for me to learn their handicaps, and mostly because they have PTSD also, and that was my first introduction to somebody besides myself that had it.
What kind of stuff do you do here at the garden?
Oh, everything from picking up litter and garbage to planting the flowers. I created a lot of new beds this year. We didn't know at the time that it was going to be the end of the garden. But I do all the flowers. I have 6 beds of my own. I do weed eating, lawn mowing, everything. All those little boxes, wooden boxes I made by hand. There's 18 of them. I put in all of the flowers along Pine Street and First Street. I'm going to miss it.
What kind of people do you encounter when you're gardening?
Oh, all kinds. We've got students, we've got old ladies that you wouldn't think would be out in the garden because they're all crippled up, but we've got raised beds for them so they don't have to bend over or anything, which is really nice. All kinds of people. There's people that walk by here and they're always kind. They always have a nice word to say. There's people that will drive by and stop their car in the middle of the street and go, "Hey, I see you out here all the time. Thank you." Stuff like that's nice. I was watering the front by the sign, and this mom walks by with her little girl. She couldn't have been, at the time, 6.5 years old. And she was just adorable. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Excuse me," she goes, "are you the lady that put in all these flowers?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "They are so beautiful." I about died that a child that age would actually admire what I had done. And so now I let her, every Saturday when she goes by to the farmer's market with her mom, on the way home I leave the scissors out so she can pick 3 flowers. I'm hoping we get to save the beds that are salvageable, the bench behind you, my flower boxes, most definitely. Yes, I'm hoping we can, it depends on what time of year it is and if we have a place we can move it to right away or if somebody has a place we can store it. Otherwise, we won't be able to save anything.
Are they going to compensate you if that's going to be the case?
No.
How are they going to help move the garden?
That's up to us. They have offered no help whatsoever. I won't be able to garden anymore. I don't have the transportation to go wherever they're moving it. That was another thing about this garden. It's a block away from where I live. So it was easy to come up here and watch the sunrise every morning. They're going to put up 3 4-story buildings that are one ADA handicap unit in each building is a minimum requirement for HUD to grant them a loan. But they're all studio apartments, so that's going to serve the college. That's not really beneficial to our families that need low-income housing. It was absolutely the cheapest thing that the contractor could put in. And it doesn't fit in this area at all. I'm hoping SEPA puts a stop to it, but we'll see. They said that and this is what bothers me the most. I don't mind that they're going to move us, but I want it to be a permanent home, a permanent place for the garden. You know, not rip it up 15 years later and put in more housing. People on that side of the street won't get a sunset anymore, and the people on this side of the street will never see a sunrise again. It's sad. And then all the traffic that they're gonna, you know, you got 57 units and probably an estimated 40 cars, and they're gonna put them all on the street. They're not even gonna have their own parking. That's gonna disrupt the people that work in the shops around here. They won't have any place to park, and it endangers the children in the sidewalks. It's gonna be a wreck, and unfortunately, some small child is going to end up paying the price for it. The girlfriend that got me started in all this, unfortunately, died, I'm going to say about 7 years ago. But she's the one that got me into this garden. And I just remember her laughing all the time. We had so much fun that first year. She's the one that actually taught me how to plant my vegetables and stake them up and how not to overwater. I have a real bad problem with that. Yeah, I miss her. But I always feel like she's around. I can always hear her laughing when I'm here. I like that. She left 2 young boys behind. I guess I was heading down that road myself, and that's what the garden saved me from, was me. That second year, I spent so much on seed, and I actually started buying plants that didn't leave much room for going out to bars and stuff, which was the good part.
How much do you think you've invested in this garden?
Oh gosh, probably just under 2,000. Between the seed and the plants and the wood and the brick, but I also have a private funder for a lot of my projects, which has been tremendous. She's her name's Karen. She's a neighbor here to the garden. That's the first time I think in my whole life that anybody ever believed in me. So that's always been really nice to think about. I have women that do these marathons and stuff in town, and they like coming by here, running by here. But we get a lot of elderly people too that like to walk around. And we always invite people to come in and look around, just not to take anything. Mostly my neighbors. They love it. I go door to door and let them pick out what they want for the day from whatever's ripe. Yeah, that's the fun. If,
do you have any big goals for the garden?
Oh yes, I'm going to cover this place in flowers, wall to wall. You're not going to be able to not notice it. That's my goal. Yeah, I want to go out with a bang. Unfortunately, it's going to be sad that, you know, that's what it takes for everybody to notice the garden. The city council did a wonderful thing when they gave the garden to us. It's just sad that they're taking it away. I wish they would have given a little more thought into the green space and global warming and all the issues we have at hand that are important. But seems like they have their own agenda. They don't seem to care what the people think or what the other people want. I know a couple of the city council members are friends with the guy that's doing the project that's going to be putting in the housing. It just seems like they have their own agenda. I won't be able to go with the next garden. It's gonna, no matter where they put it, well, as far as we know, it's either gonna be a half a mile away or 3/4 of a mile away, and I won't be able to garden anymore. This was just too convenient for me. I have real high anxiety and really bad PTSD, and I noticed that they were more easily controlled during the summer months when I was gardening compared to the winter months when I'm not. I used to be somebody who didn't really notice or care or have empathy for other people. Basically just did what I wanted to when I wanted to and never gave thought to what somebody else might be dealing with in their world.